Great. So welcome you all once again to the second half of the game. We are going to look at diamond and shine question, how to provide uh, an analysis and then the calculation. We are done. So let's go straight to diamond and shine. Oh, it means that in the handouts you have all the ratios mentioned there, right? Okay. That means you can go through them. Diamond and shine is question number, I think it's question 4 or question 3. That's question 3, diamond and shine. Let's go straight to the requirement to avoid deviation. Calculate comparable ratios to two decimal places where appropriate. Two decimal places where appropriate. Not everything you can run. So it means that check the equivalent. Have you seen all these figures? They want two decimal places. But this is not appropriate. 45 is not appropriate. This one is not appropriate to run in decimals. 44.9 days. No. Just run it in the rest whole number. That's why I say where appropriate. Not all of these you can run them to two decimal places. Some of them they have to assume a whole number. A whole number. Now let's continue the game. For the two companies, all calculation must be clearly shown. I like that too. Okay. I like that too. I like it. So let's go to the main section. Here, no footnote. The footnotes are just the workings. So let's go and scan the financial statement given to us. Revenue is there. It's note 1. Composition of the revenue. Operating profit, still note 1. Interest is here. Profit before tax is here. Income tax expense, 750 is here. Profit for the year, everything is here. Okay. So basically, that is it. Now we're going to look at the breakdown for note 1 and 2. So let's go to note 1 and 2. Note 1, sales revenue is here. Cost of sales, gross profit. Admin and distribution cost, that's operating expenses. So this is operating profit. Okay. Depreciation charge is 380. Please, this depreciation charge is part of the admin expenses. So they've treated it already. So it's not as if they've not treated it. No, it has been treated. So you don't need to touch it at all. Interest. Amount payable on bank overdrafts. Amount payable on loan stock. So the total interest is this 1205. Receivable on short-term deposit. The company deposited some interest. Sorry, deposited some funds and it has some interest on it. So interest on deposit. Here we are looking for finance cost, not interest revenue. So if you are looking for finance cost or interest, kindly pick this 1205 and 980. That's the interest. Not this very one. Not this very one. So take notes. Good. What again? So let's go to the financial position. Back again to the financial position. Property, plant, and equipment, they are there. Inventory is there. Receivable, there's a note. So let's go. Note 3, receivable. Amount falling due, 850. Trade receivable. In fact, the trade receivable is 850. Prepayment and accrued income, 310. No. We want the trade receivable, like what I was saying. Pick only the trade. We don't need the other receivable. Prepayment and accrued income are other receivable. We don't need them. We only need the trade. Then we are done. So take note of that. The same thing applies to cash flow. Cash flow, we want the changes in the working capital. So that's the trade, not the account. So cash and cash, we don't need that one. We go to equity, don't need. Then 21% loan notes, okay. Current liabilities 4, note 4. So let's go to note 4. Current liabilities, trade payables, that's what we need though. Accrued and deferred income, corporate tax, we don't need all these two. We only need the trade payable. So take note that we need a trade payable. Dividend is here. We need a dividend. Okay. Then as for the following are the related industrial ratios. So this is the sector average. Here, this is the sector average. So we shouldn't quote any sector average aside what they're giving us. So now the current ratio that we know from, which range from 1.5 is to 1 up to 2.5 now. Now this industry, their own is what? 2.5. That's the sector average. You can't change that. It should be the sector average. All the companies that are operating in that industry, putting all their results together, that's what they have. That I'm calculated. So that means your first ratio, profit margin. Your first ratio is profit margin. Now the question, which of the profit? There are so many profit. Gross profit, operating profit, what again? Net profit. Uh-huh. So which of the profit are you going to select? That's part of the game. Now ROCE, return on capital employed, and ROI, return on equity, current ratio, quick ratio, interest cover, debt to equity, account receivable collection period, account payable payment period, inventory turnover period. All of them are there. So calculating this shouldn't be a big deal. So let's see how best you can calculate this within the 15 minutes ahead of us. And I believe strongly that you are very good at that. So that's all. Now the B part, look at what they're saying. As the financial controller of Shine Limited, Financial Control of Shine Limited, write a report to the managing director analyzing the performance of your company, comparing the results against that of the Diamonds. The Diamonds Limited, a key competitor, and against the industrial average or industry average. Then that means the examiner wants you to talk about profitability, liquidity, gearing, and efficiency. That is how they want you to talk about. If it was empty like this, if these sections, let's say these sections are not there, these demarcations are not here, then it means that it is your duty to group these ratios in order. All of them, group them under key heading. All profitability, talk about it. All liquidity, all efficiency, and then all gearing. Okay. So basically that is it. Okay. So let's start the game. So Diamond and Shine. Why is that here? We call it Diamond, then Shine. Okay. So this is how the solution will be first. Tell the examiner that A, calculation of the ratios. Calculation of the ratios of the ratios. What next? After this, tell the examiner that the table that I want to draw, first, the first one will talk about the ratio itself. The second section talks about the formula. We are interested in the formula that you are going to use. The next one talks about diamond. The next one should talk about what? Shine. You are done. The next column, if you do have space, in fact, I must have to bring it. Bring the sector average. So sector average. Okay. Sector average. Then you are done. Sector average or industrial average. Okay. So first, let's go and pick the first ratio on the list. First ratio on the list will be profit margin. Profit margin. So here, I'll tell the examiner, I am calculating profit margin. The examiner, wait and see my action. What's the formula for finding profit margin? Which of the profit? There are so many types of profit. We have GP, gross profits. We have 2, operating profit. We have 3, net profit. Which of these are they talking about? Well, if I put gross here, it can also be gross profit margin. If I put operating here, operating profit margin. If I put net here, it's a net profit margin. In fact, this one, we are referring to operating profit margin. That is it. Operating profit margin. That is the terms. It's not coming clear. So let me line here. So they say profit margin. Good, nice, clear. Okay, so here you are using the operating profit margin. Agreed. It is the operating profit margin. In fact, all the profit margin, we've selected them. Please take notes. Here I have to explain this. I have to explain this. We have the margins. We also have the markups. I have gross profit markup, operating profit markup, net profit markup. Markup is on cost. The markup is on cost, so we should take note regarding the margin. So here the profit that they're talking about is the profit before interest and tax. Anything margin is that item over sales times 100. Anything markup is that item over cost of sales times 100. So markup too will also be there. So profit margin will be profit before interest and tax, all divided by the sales. Please, this one, this shortcut can do that. Yes, one you can do that. Profit before interest and tax over sales times 100. That is it. What did they say? Profit markup. Oh, is a profit before interest and tax over cost of sales. So anything markup is that item over cost of sales times 100. You are done. Just that the most popular one is the margins, not the markups. But who knows if we can change the terrain. Okay, so let's go and pick the profit before interest and tax, and then pick the sales for Diamond and Shine Company. So let's go to the financial statement made available. So what's the profit before interest and tax? Yeah, I can see operating profit here. Can I pick that one? Okay, let's go and see. It should be the profit before interest and tax. Oh, yes. Any profit which is before interest. So I can see interest here, right? So any profit which is before the interest and tax, that is the operating profit. And that is the profit before interest and tax. So I'll pick that very one. That means I'll pick this very one. this one as my profit before interest and tax, because it is before this interest, so that's the profit. If you go to the footnote to confirm the same thing for you, let's go to the footnote. If you go to the footnote, after admin, they took off, after the gross profit, they took off the admin. So left the operating profit. Here there's no other income. If there's no other income, operating profit is same as what? Profit before interest and tax. That's all. That is all. Oh, I didn't pick the figures. So let's pick the figures. That's 2,100, and then the sales is 6,950. Shine is 1,780. Diamond is 4,800. So 2,100 over 6,950. Shine 1,780 over. Let's go and pick the figures too. Okay. 4,900. 4,900 times 100. Answer. Write the answer here. Good. 30% for diamond. And that's very good. Now let's see how they calculated their own. Good. They ran into, in fact, here we can run into 2 decimal places. But you can also leave it like that, but the nearest one number, so 30%. So diamond is 30%. Then what about shine doing this? Shine gets something like, so 30% against 36%. What is the sector average? The industrial average given to us in the question. The industrial average. Let's go and pick the sector average, which is 35. Sector average is what? Please write it here. 35%. Then you align it like this. In fact, you are done with perfect. Me, I'll leave like 2 lines here, like 2 lines, so that it will be very neat. Yes, because if the handwriting is not nice, the only thing that will make your work neat is the spacing. Yes, like our own. So we have to space it. So even if the handwriting is nice, still have to still space it so that at least you make it clear for us. And next on the list, have to be fast. So the next on the list, receive. But they've shortcut it too, so me too. I do the same thing. Receive. That is allowed. Receive is nothing by profit before interest and tax, or divided by your sales revenue. No, capital employed, sorry. Your capital that you've employed times 100. That's all. Profit before interest and tax over capital employed times 100. That's all. Please, we already have the profit before interest and tax here to be 2,100. I record it. Yes, 1,780. I record it. So even if I go to the question, I search and search, I can't find the capital employed. At least I've done some. It's not empty. So let's try that. When I go to the exam, I'm looking for capital employed. How do you get capital employed? 2 ways. Equity plus non-current liability. One method. 2 is the same as the net asset. Total asset minus current liability. At this venture, I prefer this one. I like the equity plus non-current liability. Then you add that. So let's look for the equity. Total equity plus total non-current liability. That is all for capital that you have employed. So let's go to the question and pick them up. So where is the equity? Equity, where are you? Equity, where are you? Equity is the combination of these. So making 5,500. 4945. Good, that's equity. The non-current liability is only 1380 over here. It's a non-current liability. So 5,500 plus 1380. 5,500 plus 1380 times 100. That of shine will be 4945 plus 1250 times 100. We are done. What's the industrial average? Let's go and pick the industrial average. Sector average is what? We'll see. Sector average is 30%. Okay. So I've captured that one too here. So that is it. So times 100 for this one. Then answer. Okay. So 31, right? So 31%. That's for diamond. Then shine will be 31% for diamond. 31%. Shine 2 will be shine is 29%. And then the sector average is 30%. Obviously, all of them, please don't come around this one here like this 30%. No, don't do that. Pa, pa, pa. They must be on the same line. Good. Then move on to the next one. So the next one will be the next ratio on the list happen to be return on equity, ROI. Return on equity, the ROI is return on equity. It is what? Antipart, all divided by equity times 100. That's all. Yeah, I know equity to be what? 5,500. So I'll record it first. 5,500 here times 100. So when I go to the question, I only look for profit after tax. I'm not going for equity again. So if you flip to look for equity again, please don't do that. Why? Because time will not be outside. The equity is 4945. And align it like this, multiply by 100. So now when I go in, I'm going to look out for that of the profit after tax. So let's go and pick the profit after tax, which is the same as profit for the year. Profit for the year 291 and 570. 291 and 570. 291 and 570. That is all. Okay. So you get 5% for diamond, 5%, then 12% for shine. Oh wow, shine is doing well. But our company is doing well. But we are in comfortable lead. Oh yes, we are leading. Out this time around too. We still be in comfortable lead. Okay. That's good news. Now let's go and pick the sector average. Let's go and pick the sector average and let's see the industry. Let's see who is the winning team. Sector average is 20%. Sector average is 20%. Okay, so that's great. Sector average is 20%. I am done. I'll move on to the next ratio. Within 15 minutes, you're able to finish this. The next ratio on the list is what? Current ratio. Current ratio. Current ratio. That one we say current over current. Everything current. So current ratio. That is another CA over CL is to 1. You are done. What's the current asset? What's the current liability? Let's go and pick them from the question. Current assets. Inventory receivable, their total 2865. 2865. So I'll put them down. Then the current liability respectively. Okay, let's pick this one first before we move on. 4772. No, it's a lie. 2028. Yes, it's true. So shine to have 2028. That's 2028. This question has visited us again. 2028. We're in 2020. So many years time. So that is exactly 7 years in. Okay. Now history of the day. Today history will be your mind. Yes. When I'm done, we do the history of the day. Current liabilities. Current liabilities. This is the total. This is the total. They give us a breakdown in the footnote. We want the total, which is 1165 and 605. 1165 and 605. So which is 1165 and 605. Is to 1. Is to 1. We said that it's a relative measure. Answer. Answer. Right. So for 2 decimal places, 2.50. 2.50 and 3.40 is to 1 relative measure. 3.40 is to 1. 2 decimal places. Good. Perfect. I like that. Now what do you do for that of the sector average? Let's go and pick the sector average. Put it in. Sector average. The sector average. The sector average is 2.5. So let's go there. 2.5. So is to 1. Okay. We are done. Please, I want to take off the first 2 sections, clean it, and then talk with the remaining ratios there. In fact, here in this case, when the examiner was doing the selection, here he selected 10 ratios. He selected 10 solid ratios. So that means when you are doing the selection, select maximum. You can select 7 or even 4 or 5. That's all. Okay, so the next ratio on the list is quick ratio. I'll not do it on top here. I want to clean the first two and put the remaining ones there. That's the first two. Okay, so quick ratio. Quick ratio. The quick ratio is nothing by your current asset minus your inventory, all divided by current liabilities is 1. I will not flip the question again. I'll write this one first. This is the current asset. This is what? The current liability. I tell the examiner that I already know the current asset will be 2865 minus something. I'll leave it empty. All divided by the current liability. That will be 1165. This to 1. I'll do this before I go and look for the inventory. If I go, I wasn't able to find the inventory. At least I've done something. I'll not go and waste my time and look for the inventory once I can do this one free first. Yeah, yes, going to be very tough. The space I provided is too small. So here to be 2028. 2028 minus something. All divided by current liability of what? 605. Relatively is to 1. So let's go and pick the inventory. Then we are done from the question. So if you go, I'm just going to pick the inventory. So the closing inventory is here 465 and 305. 465, 305. So 465, 305. Answer, answer. Yes. So 2.1. 2.10 is to 1, right? And then 2.85 is to 1. I'll take that. 2.85 is to 1. 2.85 is to 1. Then what you do is, let's go and pick the sector average. Please, let's run all the figures to 2 decimal places. Take notes. So while you run it to the whole number, kindly convert that to the 2 decimal places to be on safer side. The sector average here will be quick ratio is 2. So quick ratio is 2. I'll put a 2 here. 2. 2.0 is to 1. And then, okay, then we go to the next ratio on the list. The next ratio is interest cover. So that means we've entered into gearing. These two are gearing. The last 3 are efficiency. These 2 are liquidity. The first 3 are profitability. Liquidity 2. Gearing 2. Efficiency 3. You are done. So interest cover. So the next one is interest cover. Interest cover. What is the formula? Profit before interest and tax, all divided by the interest expense. Interest expense. Good. I have the profit before interest and tax. When I calculate the receipt, I've finished. That means I have to go look for it again. But we have 2,100. So let me take off this section here. So that it will not confuse us. We are down this section. So you know that we are down this section. Shouldn't confuse us again. Agree. Okay. Okay, good. 2,100. I like that too. And then 1780 all divided by the interest expense. So let's go to the question and locate the interest. The interest that they mention here, obviously interest amount, you have to pick this. So 1205. 1205. That's 1205. Good. That's 1205. 1205 and 980. I like that too. 1205 and 980. And answer will be 1.70 times. And this will give us 1.70 times 1.74. Okay, I'll take that. Let's run them, all of them, to 2 decimal places. When you pick it, make sure that you have 2 points. So it includes the receipt and then the profit margin that we calculated. Most of your figures were whole number. No, it must be 2 decimal places. So run to 2 decimal places. 1.82. Good. So 1.82 times, what's the sector average? Sector average is 2.5 times. We move on to the next ratio on the list. The next ratio on the list, debt to equity. Debt to equity. So debt to equity is equal to non-current liability over equity times 100. So let's go and look for non-current liabilities. As the debt is the debenture that they were having, or the loan note. Good, that's a loan note. 1,250 for shine, 1,380 for diamond. So 1,380 and 1,250. So 1,380, 1,250. Left equity. So let's go and pick the equity. Equity is like having the it's 5,500. Yes, equity. 5,500 times 100. Equity over there is 4945. Kindly confirm for me. If they are correct, kindly give me the answer so that we move on. That so it will be 25.1 and 25.3%. It's 10 and 30. 10 and then 30. Let's pick the sector average and then next ratio on the list. Next ratio on the list is account receivable collection period, 30 days. Sector average is 45. Sector average is 45. Sector average should be 45%. So account receivable collection period or days is equal to receivable figure or divided by the sales revenue times 365. So receivable so we have to go and look for the items and put them in. So receivable. Here you can't find average. You don't have open balance and closing balance. No average here. So here open balance is not given, so we cannot calculate average. That means you have to pick just the closing figure. Is it like that? Let's go to receivable. They provided notes. If you check the receivable here, trade receivable prepayments, here you have to use what? The trade 850. If, even though the examiner said account receivable, we still have to use the trade 850,000 all over sales revenue. Sales revenue, in fact, it was there. Sales revenue happened to be 6950. That's the sales revenue 6950. So let me go and pick the receivable figure first before I forgot. 850, 670. 850, 670. And let's go and pick the sales figure. Sales figure. Okay, 6950 and 4,900. 6950, 4,000. 6950 and 4,900 times 365 times 365, and that'll give us 45 days, right? Perfect. So 45 days and 50 days and 50 days. Yeah, there are no two decimal places. Take note. There are no two decimal places. Then the benchmark is what? 30 days. 30 days. 30 days. Let's go to the next on the list. Account payable payment period. Account so account payable payment period. So that one's the payable. Sorry, I'm not demarcated. So let me calculate the last two on top. Let's go to the top and let's calculate the last two there. Then we are done. Okay, so I'm going to the top to calculate the last two. Let me go to the top to calculate the last two. So still, this is a calculation. And when I'm done, write the report. It's highly likely that you will write the report and we'll discuss it on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. It's highly likely. Highly likely. Highly likely. Highly likely. No, ask rather highly the likely exam questions. Okay, so the first accounts payable payment period is equal to the payable over, we have credit purchases, you don't have them there, so you are going to pick the cost of sales like that over what you are picking, cost of sales. Please, what you are picking should be the formula over the cost of sales times 365. So let's go and pick the payable cost of sales. We are done for the game. Payable is here 450,222. So 450,222. Let's the cost of sales. Let's go and pay the cost of sales. Cost of sales 3,500, 2,200. 3,500 times 365 and 2,200 times 365. Answer. They got 47 days and 37 days. Okay, then the sector average is 45 days. Sector average, 45 days. Then you go to inventory turnover days. Inventory turnover period. Down to inventory or cost of sales times the 365. Take note. I have the cost of sales here, 3,500 times the 365. Here to have the cost of sales here, 2,200 times 365. Then I'll go and then look for just the closing inventory. And I think we've looked at it before. So closing inventory, we've looked at it before, which is 1160, no, 465 and 305. 465, 30, so 465, 305. So you put it in, and that's the end of the game. We will write the reports again. So 48 days against 51 days. 48 days against 51 days. So you should be assigning your reasons. Benchmark, they have 40 days. We are done with the calculation. So right after the calculation of the ratios, you start calculating, you start your reports. So just like the reports, I'll leave it to you for you to write it for me. We'll do it together on Wednesday or Tuesday. We'll get a report from there. So that is it. So that's unfortunate for us. This is how far the good Lord will bring us. We'll probably continue with the reports. Yes. Or so kindly write the report together and kindly obey all the protocols. Start from the address. From to, that is a memo. So for a report, it will be to, from, so now to who. The address is there. So I'm providing a detail how the structure should be. So the report I'm going to write, the structure will be as follows. First, to the managing director, in bracket, Shine Limited. From financial controller, date 12th of January 2021. Subject, performance analysis of Shine Limited as compared to Diamond and the industrial average. For 20, which year are you doing the report? For 2016. For 2016, yes, I can see 2016 here. So for 2016, so that's the address. Let's start with the introduction. This report seeks to analyze the performance of the Diamond and Shine Limited for the year and as compared to the industrial average. This report will be based on intercompany comparison using the following key ratios: profitability, liquidity, gearing, and efficiency, together with a sector average provided in the question. Full stop. My report is limited to selection and application of different accounting policy. Full stop, I'm done. I'll go to the body. Profitability. Profitability ratio train the ability of the organization to generate enough profit to be used for future investment or to be distributed to the owners by way of dividend. The next paragraph. Operating profit margin, has it increased or decreased? Yeah, you can't say increase or decrease. So who is doing what? In terms of operating profit margin, Shine is doing better than what? Diamond. In that order. Then you have some reasons. Yeah, then. So write all these reports for me nicely. Don't forget the commentary. Then we are done for the day. Okay. So you do have few minutes to work on that. Great.